Welcome to Girl Talk Plug Talk. Come get plugged in with us. Okay, so today we just gonna kind of keep it a little bit simple, but we do want to kind of go over or discuss the whole Gypsy Rose situation. You know, it's been a lot going on
It
social
has
media.
been a lot going on.
So, you know, we just want to kind of give our point of view.
About like well, I'm gonna start off with this.
Okay.
Um I don't wanna say it's a debate, but like on Twitter for a minute people were saying how they feel like they don't think she deserves to be out of jail. And people been calling her like the N word or whatever. Um
So let's
how do you feel about
let's
that?
let me take it back a little bit. So for people who don't know, Gypsy Rose, which most people know, Gypsy Rose went to jail for the N word for
Basically
getting rid of her mom.
yeah, but let's not like forget,
She
even
was
though
being
that was like,
yeah.
crazy, but like her life, Gypsy's life was like, took away from her basically
Yeah.
growing up.
She was an adult who was being treated like a child. Every from the point that she was born all the way up until 23 years old.
Yeah, but remember her mom lied about her age.
She did. She did lie about her age to her. And as far as Gypsy Rose was aware before, everything went down or whatever, as far as she was aware, she had all these ailments and illnesses. She was handicapped as far as she was told by her mother. Her mom told her how to lie and manipulate others. So it was just a lot. She went through a lot of mental trauma, physical trauma, emotional trauma as a child, leading all the way up into her adult years. She didn't even know she was an adult at the point when she finally did find out.
She still thought she was a kid.
Yeah. So there's just been a lot of controversy surrounding around her. A lot of people feel like she should not have been allowed parole. A lot of people feel like she should have been. Some people feel like she should have never went to jail in the first place. Her and her boyfriend at the time are who committed the crime against her mom. So I personally am kind of on the fence. I do feel like she got more time than she should have. I don't think that she should have necessarily went to jail per se.
I feel like they
or prison.
Like you know how like it be little kids who like I don't want to say that in the same situation, but like if they had a real bad childhood, they would be sent off to like specialists
Or like a mental hospital,
yeah, like for kids to like help them adjust like actually being like a kid or
yeah.
like it's just different. I feel like they should have sent her to a specialist or something instead of just throwing her in jail. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying, and I do agree. I think that there should have been other things put in place or other options besides her going to prison. I feel like what she did was an act of defense, self-defense, because she was being tormented. No matter how anyone wants to look at it, I understand that a lot of people argue that she took a life. Well, yeah, she took a life, but so she was, and not only that, she was at that time, based on everything that she went through, she was mentally unstable. So what would you expect someone to do?
She didn't really have a mind of her own. Like,
yeah.
Her whole life has been like just lies. So it's just like she didn't get a choice in anything.
Yeah.
Literally nothing. Like
yeah.
She couldn't even really be friends with people.
She couldn't be friends with people. None of their family was around. So, imagine being in that situation and then you find out that all of these things that you've been taught and that you've been told by the only person that you know for real, you find out that all of those things are a lie and that they've been manipulating you the whole time. What would you expect somebody to do? who's to say that if we were in that same situation that wouldn't be the same outcome? Because you don't know what somebody's last strike is, or what somebody's final straw is that would lead them to something like that.
And that's what I was gonna speak on too. A lot of people were saying, like, basically, like, well, for me, I would say, like, okay, not saying that she shouldn't have gotten in trouble for what she did, but I feel like everybody needs to understand that a lot of people come from toxic households. You know, so it, you don't get a manual book or a handbook on how to navigate through a toxic household, or, you know, you not having a choice with your own life. You know, so I feel like a lot of times people turn on themselves in those situations and be depressed, but they turn on themselves. You know, and in this case,
so
in this case, Gypsy turned on the person, you know, turned on, I don't want to say turned on the right person, but, you know, she didn't, like I said, most situations when we're going through something through a toxic household, usually, you know, people turn on themselves, you know, they get depressed, they do things to themselves, you know, but in this case, it was just targeted at the person. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah,
you know,
I get what you're saying though.
Yeah.
So okay, let me. I do want to touch on something though, and this is why I say that I'm on the fence a little bit about how I feel about the whole situation, because since she has been out, she's been all over social media, of course, podcast interviews. She's on Instagram. She's on TikTok.
I will cut in and say I feel like I don't like how she acting a little bit, because I feel like she's making it as if she a celebrity or something, or like she's feeding off of, like, I mean, yeah, she's gonna have supporters or whatever. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. But she's feeding off of it too much to where she's getting to a point where it's like she's just, you know, it's fine to live your best life, but don't act like you don't have a whole nother person sitting in jail because of what you concocted up, you know? So it's just like that's why I understand why you was like, I'm on the fence.
Yeah, because I watched the interview that she did with Val Fowles.
Yeah, I didn't watch some of it.
But
I don't like how she was like saying, I technically didn't do anything.
Yeah, she was like, I just want to clear that up right now. I didn't commit the actual murder, but the thing is, whether you allegedly, whether you committed it, like by physically being the one to do it, or you helped create the plan, or carry out the plan, or you convinced him, or whatever, you were a part of the situation. So yes, I understand why it was done, but don't try to diminish what happened, because then that starts to make, for me anyways, it starts to make it seem very
like, and then she acting all arrogant. I don't like that. Like, she's just acting like it's like she likes the fame attention off of what, like, happened. Yeah, and it's like, when it comes to people supporting you, I feel like she's getting the wrong idea of how people are supporting her.
But
a little bit. Some people are defending her case a little too heavy, as if she hasn't done anything.
Well, what I'll say about, I feel like a lot of people are expecting her to get out here and be a social media influencer, and that is not what she needs right now. Yeah, like, people are really coming down really hard on her needing to be on social media, or wanting attention and stuff, like, or wanting to have her attention, or trying to give her attention. And I feel like right now first of all, this is her first time out since everything that she's had to go through her entire life, and I feel like a lot of people need to give grace and allow time for her to grow, and really, because she doesn't really know what it's like to be in the real world, for real. She's been
delayed for so long, so it's like she just needs to chill. Yeah, just chill. And I feel like now she still needs to be seeing some type of specialist.
Well, she says that she's in therapy.
Oh, okay, that's not the type of specialist I'm talking about, but okay. I'm just being real, y'all. Like, because you have to think
I don't think
about
she
it.
should have jumped into the limelight so fast. Is my thing,
Well,
because it can be really
I
overwhelming,
don't want to
especially
say
if
this,
you're
but that's
not
probably how
mentally
she making her
stable.
money.
Well, yeah, I'm sure.
For right
But
now,
that's not mentally, that can be mentally handicapping. I can't think of the other word I was trying to say. That can be mentally draining, especially if you haven't finished or received all of the proper care that you need emotionally and mentally. You might not know how to handle that. Even for some of us that may be in a better place emotionally and mentally, have a hard time handling that. So I just don't think that she should have jumped into the limelight social media wise so fast. And I think that people need to stop putting that expectation on her as well.
yeah, I would say the same thing because everything is new to her too. Y'all have to think about that too.
Yeah.
Like, when she was a kid, she didn't have no TV. I don't think she had like TVs or phones or nothing like that, did she?
Yeah, well, she was forced to do like interviews and stuff about the sicknesses.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But now that she actually got choices and stuff and like that, I feel like she should just, take it a day at a time.
So what do you think about
Her new
a lot of people feel like there's a lot of similarities between him and her mom.
They talking about face wise.
Like the way that he acts.
I don't think he's controlling. If that's what people trying to get at, I don't feel like they controlling or nothing. Like, people have to understand that's a man. A man is meant to lead a woman, whatever. And that's how I would like my relationships go. But men are, they lead their woman, or like, they woman, want they man to take initiative all the time, or I don't want to say be controlling, but like they wear the pants, like they, she following her man.
Yeah.
I feel like that's really what she following her man, and
and then who are we to say we don't know what
y'all don't know behind the scenes?
Yeah, we don't know what she prefers as far as interaction with her husband, how she prefers her man, how she prefers her relationship. She might prefer to fall back a little bit whenever it comes to her relationship, or whenever they're doing interviews, like a lot of people were saying whenever they did the Vow Files, the way that he was. Now, I will say I don't like that he cuts her off all the time whenever she tries to answer questions, but that could just be him. But a lot of people were saying that in their interviews, he's very similar to how her mom would be. Her mom was, of course, very much a helicopter mom, and they're comparing him to being a helicopter husband. But I think that he could just be wanting to protect her.
Yeah, because you have to think about it too. Like, they met while she was in jail, so her type of case and her coming out of jail, that's gonna be a lot of people asking certain questions. And, she might be open to answering certain questions, but him as a man probably feel like, she don't need to answer them questions right now, or maybe he feel as if, maybe that's a little too personal. Like, you never really know how, somebody else's spouses is, or what they feel like may be best for their partner. And I feel like people is just automatically looking at, oh, she's in another relationship, is she finna basically do the same thing again to somebody else or something like that. I feel like that's really what people were like chiming on. And then y'all have to also think about her ex or whatever that she committed the crime with, and all the way there. Basically.
And I need people to stop asking her questions about him, because the fact that this was something that they both got in trouble with together, people have to understand they want her to talk about him in interviews and answer questions. Why don't you care about him? But not only that, she may not be allowed to have contact with him.
That's true too.
And
or
then answering
she might
questions,
not be able to talk about him like that, because
it's still a sensitive situation. It doesn't mean she can't still get in trouble for things.
Right. And then, like, y'all, I feel like not y'all, but I feel like people are asking too
much of her.
Too much from her, and it's like she just got out 5 seconds ago, y'all. Like, I understand we probably all got questions. Like, I'm sure, like, we literally all have questions. Especially when, you have, televisions and stuff making stories and different, because I think it's like 2 different types of movies or stories out about her. So it's like, of course, everybody has questions, like, you know, but I feel like some people just come off a little too strong, and I think that's where her husband comes in, and it's like, you know, in protective mode, because he probably don't want her to say too much. Just like how we all try not to say too much about anything that's way too personal, you know. And I know probably people are probably like, well, her life is, you know, not basically private, but people do still have some type of privacy. Like she's still a regular person. Like just because her name is out there, she's still a regular person when she go home, when she be with her husband. So I mean, I feel like, just, you know, the whole situation is
it's just a lot.
It's a lot to speak on, for real, especially when you really don't know too much, but you know a lot too. So, I mean, it's like you gotta kind of watch what you say in her type of case also, because, you know, mental statuses and stuff like that. But I feel like she's doing fine. You know, I don't feel like they should have made her like move. Just based
when they made them leave they were on a trip.
They were?
Yeah, so they were, was it Minnesota?
Pittsburgh. Girl, I don't know.
They were on a trip with her family, and then after the trip they were supposed to be going to Louisiana. She had 2 parole officers when she first got out.
Right.
She's originally from Louisiana, but you know, she was in jail in another state. And so when she first got out, her parole officer in the first state, I'm not going to say the state because I don't remember the exact state and I don't have time to look it up right now. But her parole officer there called her and told her that basically she had to cut the trip short and go to Louisiana immediately. So, you know, that was really upsetting. And I do kind of feel for her in that regard.
I don't feel like they should.
They said it was a security issue, which I get, but if nobody knows where exactly she's at, why should it matter?
And I mean, it's like, dang, y'all don't want her to live her life.
Yeah.
Like, she can't just go out and hide forever. Like, no, that girl is gonna want to live her life. She's been in jail. She want to go experience stuff. She got a new man. She's trying to go do stuff with her family and stuff like that. Like, I don't feel like they should stagnate her and just keep her in one little bubble. Because, I mean, her story's all over the world. So, you can't keep anybody, you know, from... You know, you can't really keep, you know, the public away from her. Like, that's just not gonna happen.
Do you think they should have given her years served instead of making her still be on parole or probation?
I mean, when you're an accomplice in something, then I feel as if that you still should, you know, pay some type of price for it or whatever. So, I mean, she's still able to travel and stuff like that, so it's not like she's really limited to nothing. She just can't violate certain terms. But I feel like, you know, I definitely don't feel like she should be off, like, scotch-free, no probation, no nothing. Like, nah, like, she should be on something.
Because at the end of
the
day,
she still keep her, you know, a little limited to certain stuff, you know, like I said, because she says she's going to a therapist, but I feel like she needs the most specialist people.
Like what?
Like
a psychiatrist
or something. Yeah, because
I don't know what the exact. She just said she's in
going therapy.
Yeah, so I don't know, you know, what the exact type of therapist or counselor is that she has.
But I feel like she definitely still needs some more time before she's able to be off any type of probation or, you know, parole, whatever.
Yeah.
She definitely should still be on something, like I said, just to, like, not limit her, but just to keep her
get acclimated to the real world again.
First, if anything, especially, like, you know, mental wise.
Because if you think about it, she's really starting over for real. Because when she went in, she was an adult, but she was in a child's mindset.
Yeah, she had a mindset like a 12-year-old, I think.
So
yeah,
it's a lot for her to learn over again, and I just really hope that she's able to reprogram and adjust accordingly, and that everyone that's in her corner is genuinely in her corner.
Yeah, and not like using her for like clout or nothing like that. Especially, well, I mean, I feel like her husband really love her, but like I said,
it's kind of gonna be one of those ways.
It's gonna be one of it's gonna be one of those ways to see, because like I said, he met her in jail. And, you know, you have certain people who like do be like fans over like N-words and
what do you think about that? Like
with stuff like that, like people was obsessing over Ted Bundy. They used to say he was fine and stuff like that. Like people, like it's fans like who really would marry people like that and don't care. Which, you know, it's fine, but I'm just saying, like, but you have some people who might just want that clout off of her, or, you know, they see that money coming in.
He done quit his job. I don't know if he has a job now, but I know that, you know, there was an interview where he did say that he had quit his job. So I think that's why a lot of people feel like he's with her for the wrong reasons too.
I mean, like my sister said, it's probably just gonna be one of those wait and see. Yeah, honestly, but
I am glad that she's out, though. Yeah, I just hope she takes her time and don't allow the media to get to her or feel pressured into being an icon or a social media influencer or whatever. That's already a lot in itself, and having to adjust to a world that you're not truly that you haven't truly been in, especially as an adult, is a lot in itself as well. So, you know, I think people should allow her some grace, and I think that she should definitely take some time to herself, enjoy these times, this time with her family, with her husband, getting to know her dad. Yeah. For real, because she's had to get to know him through being in jail because when she was younger, her mom didn't allow that. So she has a lot in the world that she has to get used to.
Because the daddy probably would have told the truth.
Yeah. Well, he didn't know everything. And as far as the family in Louisiana, mom's family,
that's who she around? The mom's family?
Oh. No. Just her dad and her stepmom. But when I watched the special with her granddad, I feel like he allegedly did what she said.
What did he do?
That he allegedly
R-worded her.
Yeah, that he allegedly
Wait, so she's sitting in front of somebody who allegedly R-worded her?
No, her granddad, her mom's dad.
Oh.
Yeah. Because in the interview, they asked him about it. Like, she said, you know, what happened? They asked him about it, and he said, he kind of, like, laughed it off. And he was like, I'm paraphrasing, but he was basically like, that didn't happen. She actually tried to touch me. She's a child. Right. What do you mean? And I feel like that in itself made it really seem like he allegedly did do that.
Right.
Because why would you say something like that? And what was funny about that? Even if you were just chuckling about, there's nothing
and it's kind of like you trying to brush it off as a joke to basically like not put the spotlight on you.
So she has a lot of people in her life that has really failed her over the years. Yeah. So I just really hope everyone that is, I do believe that her dad is very genuine, his wife, her stepmom as well. But, you know, as far as the husband, I truly hope that is a genuine situation. Right, 'cause
I don't even know how long they be married.
I don't think it's been a whole long time.
It hasn't. So I hope he's there for the right reasons.
Yeah.
I hope, like she said, I hope she don't let the media and stuff, you know, get to her or make her feel like she has to do this and that. I feel like she should be able to take her time. I hope she don't let the negative things that people have to say, like, mess with her mental or make her feel guilty of but because it's hard to like really speak on it and like try to speak of her as an innocent person because she's not innocent, but her innocence was
just trying to put yourself in her shoes. Because how would, I don't know how I would handle something like that. To be completely honest,
Right.
like
that's what I'm saying. Like,
we can say all day long, like, oh, she shouldn't have did this or she
right,
shouldn't have
but
did
you
that,
were
but
not in that situation.
yeah, you
Just
don't really
like
know how you would
if
handle
you in a
something.
toxic household, you don't know how to navigate that. That's why I say, like, a lot of people when they in toxic household, they turn on themselves instead of actually turning on the actual target that's doing the toxic stuff. But and I feel like people not really thinking about that for real.
And I think it's a true testament too to for a lot of parents and especially older adults to truly understand that the things that you do to your children, or that you say to them, or that you put them through when they're young, really does affect them as an adult, and as they grow. You never know, what an environment can do to somebody, because yeah, you may have one kid that may turn out amazing, but that
Right.
doesn't mean that it's not affecting them, but it also doesn't mean that the rest of your kids are going to turn out the same too. So I think we just all have to be, it just really shows that you have to be very careful when you're raising young impressionable
Or
children,
how about this? Don't have no kids
if you're not mentally and
if
emotionally
you're
there
not
yourself.
mentally really ready for it, or you. Well, for one, the mom was basically making a profit off of her. That since she was a baby. But so my thing is, just don't do what she did. That's all I can really say, because the mom is not here to,
Defend
anything or like say what her mental status was. I don't really know the history and all that stuff about the mama mental history, but I definitely would like to see if there's anything about that like on the mama, because I want to really understand why the mama automatically make a profit out of her as soon as she had her. Like, was that your plan the whole time before like you got pregnant? Like, I just want to take a little but I hope, Gypsy's, living her best life like she said. And yeah, I hope she just don't let nothing that's negative being put out, affect her.
Yeah, and I hope she, like I said, just continues to grow and get acclimated to being out in the real world and all of the differences that might come with that, and everyone in her corner being genuine. But let us know what you guys think about it. How do y'all feel? What is your take on it? Talk to us. Let us know what's up. Like we said, come get plugged in.
With us,
come catch this vibe.
Okay, and if you got some topics, y'all want us to speak on, or
even shows, anything that y'all want us to talk about, let us know down below. Once again, of course, you can find both of our social medias in the description box. And we'll see y'all next time. Peace.